Greetings, my name is Justin DeCenso and I'm a co-founder of hiphopalumni.com. The following video is a collection of exit interviews I conducted with my Rhetoric of Hip Hop students at New Mexico State University in the spring of 2011. The purpose of this video is to share their experiences with my fellow colleagues at New Mexico State, as well as other colleagues across the country. This video is also meant to give them voice and allow folks to appreciate and understand the class that I taught this past spring. If you have any questions or interested in syllabi, sharing ideas, or collaborating with myself at hiphopalumni.com, please feel free to follow the email address at the end of the video. Thanks, and thanks for watching.
First of all, I didn't know it was a hip-hop class until I got in there, so no expectations really.
I didn't hear about it, and I honestly just kind of signed up for the first English class I saw. I didn't even read it. I was just like, you know what, there's an English class, I need it, so I took it. And when I got here, I was pretty surprised that I had a hip-hop class.
I was just going through the NMSU catalog, and it just fit in with my schedule at the time.
I needed an English class, and I was looking online, and the name just stood out to me. You know, I'm a big music fan, I'm a pretty big hip-hop fan, so you know, I've never studied it formally or anything. I was like, I just thought it'd be a cool opportunity to do so.
I needed another English class for my gen ed, and I was just kind of going through the catalog book, and I saw Rhetoric of Hip Hop, and I was like, no brainer. I'm a big hip hop fan, so when I saw that, it was sealed. I knew exactly where I was going.
I knew it was going to be a big workload. I knew it wasn't just going to be an easy class where you can just, you know, not show up for a few days and then come back and you know what's going on. No, it wasn't like that at all. But I knew I was going to enjoy the class right away.
It was different than what I thought. I thought it was going to be more like lyrics focused, you know, songs, actual songs. But this was more, you know, about the history of hip hop, how it formed, which I thought was really cool. I was actually really excited for that because I had no idea about any stuff we learned. So right off the bat, it was kind of a little, you know, my perspective of the class changed.
First, you went into the history of slavery, of inner city, you know, deindustrialization. I mean, you went through it all. The origins of hip hop, and then you started going into the actual music aspect and what's actually being created.
For me, like, the most interesting and I thought beneficial was talking about the way the music system set up the business, the marketing. You know, I wrote about that in the papers. You know, it's the marketing, the record labels, the radio companies, kind of the monopolization of the industry, and how it's based off of money rather than artistic talent or music.
Hip Hop Wars by Trisha Rose. That was, it was a good book. It was a really good book. She really knows what she's talking about.
One of the things that I loved about this class, we were talking about gentrification, and one of the lectures on the Cross Bronx Expressway and urban renewal. We focused a lot on the history and not even the music, as Travis was saying. Like, we went back to slavery, and you know, the events that led up to, you know, hip hop being created.
I really liked Akbar's book because, as I say, I never really listened to a lot of hip hop music, so it gave me a lot of different artists to look at and to, you know, check out what is the good stuff, what is the bad stuff, and so it really gave me a different perspective on hip hop.
First, I like how you really challenged us. It was very rewarding how you were able to challenge us. You give us back an essay we worked really hard on with the red marks all over it, and we were like, okay, I gotta work on that, and that too. I mean, it's very mind draining, but I think in the end it was very good for us, and I think naturally we're gonna write better now. We may not be thinking about what we learned, but it's gonna be our instincts now.
I think I've improved in my writing, and also I know a whole lot more than I did before in terms of hip hop and how it started.
Overall, just it almost changed my whole way of critical thinking almost, you know. When I look at, you know, music videos now, or when I hear songs, you know, I come in with like a different kind of eye.
Well, I honestly have never really, like, I've always seen just what they play on radios and just what they play on, you know, MTV and stuff. And I've kind of always had this idea that hip hop is just, you know, this really kind of, you know, negative kind of stuff. And I never realized there was so much history behind it and all the different, you know, aspects of it.
I believe that reading the books, I've improved my vocabulary. they've had a lot of range words I've never even come across. So that improved it overall.
I guess just a whole different way to look at hip hop. Like, you know, all the students have said before me, it's not just a genre of music.
It was challenging, and I probably learned the most in this class than I have in a class in a long time, you know.
Once you realize that there's a whole other world out there than what's being presented, it opens the door. I think that's why it's so important to study hip hop at a university level, because there's no better way to really dissect and break down what I think is one of the most critical aspects of hip hop culture, music, is critical thinking.
It was a good experience, and there's a lot of work. You kept us busy at all times, but it was enjoyable work. Like I missed one class, and I woke up 30 minutes late, and I was highly upset. You know, I'm like, of all the classes to miss, I missed this one. I really enjoyed the class.
You can't get away from it or anything like that. So I mean, why wouldn't you want to learn about it? You know, instead of just keeping kind of that negative opinion that you may have, but rather try to figure out what hip hop really is, because most people don't have a clue what hip hop really is. I would admit that I didn't necessarily have a pretty good idea on what hip hop was until I entered this class.
I think it was one of my favorite classes I've ever taken because it was all about, at least to me, it was all about critical thinking beyond what you immediately see and immediately hear. You know, taking it deeper. You know, don't just be superficial about what you see and hear, but really just think about it. And I think that's a really important skill to develop. That's not taught enough in schools. And I think this is one of the classes that really just focused on that. And I think that was definitely a really positive aspect of the class and to my education.